Guyana signs Forest Protection Pact and Madia received supplies to conduct repairs. Welcome to Info Hub. It's Monday, September 9, the start of a new week. We have lots to tell you. Guyana joins fellow Amazonian countries in signing an agreement to protect the world's largest tropical forest. It comes at a time when the Amazon is under threat from fires.
Minister of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman travelled to Colombia and signed the agreement on behalf of President David Granger and the government of Ghana. He was accompanied by head of the Forest Carbon Partnership Facility Project, FCPF, Clayton Hall, and Guyana's ambassador to Brazil, George Talbot. The agreement aims to coordinate disaster response and satellite monitoring of the tropical forest. While delivering short remarks, Minister Trotman reiterated that President Granger is the visionary who conceptualized the Green State Development Strategy GSDS for Ghana, describing it as Ghana's lighted path towards attaining a green and sustainable economy, and is open to be shared and improved upon. The Amazon, which spans 8 countries including Ghana, is the world's largest rainforest. It produces approximately 20% of Earth's oxygen and covers 40% of South America. It is inhabited by 30 million people and home to a vast number of species of animals and plants. The other signatories are Colombia, Bolivia, Ecuador, Peru, Suriname, and Brazil. Felicia Valenzuela, InfoHub.
The roof of the Madia Primary School has been replaced following high winds on Friday. A team of government and regional officials traveled to the town on Saturday to deliver aid and conducted further assessments. The team visited the Madia primary and secondary schools and several homes which were affected by the heavy winds. Latest reports state that classes have resumed and repairs to several homes are ongoing. In an earlier comment, Lieutenant Colonel Kester Craig said a team was mobilized in less than 24 hours and the activation of the Regional Disaster Risk Management System aided the relief efforts.
In some instances, the region started to put systems in place to bring things back to normalcy. For example, late yesterday afternoon into the night, the power was restored. I think that's the region should be complimented for ensuring that is put in place. Secondly, the Regional Democratic Council activated the Regional Disaster Risk Management System, and they started to do the assessment even without the Civil Defense Commission. It shows that the training that we have done and the system that we have implemented is being utilized effectively.
Chairman of the Patara-Seperuni region, Bonaventure Fredericks, said that the regional administration had the situation under control. Minister Bolkan noted that collaboration between all tiers of government was important to ensuring the well-being of all citizens.
I'm happy to say that the central government was able to respond to this emergency in an immediate manner, and to see that the levels of cooperation between all of the different tiers of government, the central government, the Regional Democratic Council, the municipality of Madia, that it points clearly to us that we have to cooperate with each other, especially in times like these, to be able to provide support and relief to affected residents.
Persons also sustained injuries, one of whom was evacuated to Georgetown for medical treatment. Over the weekend, a team of surgical specialists from the Georgetown Public Hospital, the Ministry of Public Health, and other health facilities in Regions 2, 6, and 10 jointly conducted a 2-day surgical outreach at the Mabaruma Regional Hospital.
The Ministry of Public Health is going even further in its efforts to ensure residents in far-flung communities access specialized services. This time, persons in need of surgery in the Barima-Waini region were afforded that opportunity.
Well, I'm glad because she had about 2 years trying for it, but we never get a chance with it. We had the money, but then I got a chance with it. Plenty problem.
At one time, one of the testicle one side more big, right? And I never take it serious. But it's about let me say half of this year now, he began to come down. He said, well, me got to take a surgery, and he had me in the clinic, and I was very happy about it.
These are just some testimonials from persons who benefited from the exercise. Many said the outreach saved them the expense of having to travel elsewhere to have their surgeries done. The Ministry of Public Health has taken note of the high costs incurred to transport a patient or patients for surgery to Georgetown.
We ask our doctors here to enlist patients that need surgeries because we don't want them to travel to Georgetown or for us to be doing medvacs all the time, and it's incurring a high cost at the Ministry of Public Health.
According to Public Health Minister Valda Lawrence, having the surgeries done in the regional hospital also provides exposure for doctors and nurses working there, which will aid in the decision-making process as they consider specializing.
We believe that when we bring our specialists out to these far-flung areas, that our doctors who are posted here will now have the opportunity to work with these specialists, work along with them, not only at the doctoral level, but also the nurses, the anesthesiologists, and so on, all of the whole team that is here to work, and so they can gain experience. We're also looking for partnerships or mentorships, so to speak. So as the specialists come out, they will be able to identify those doctors here that they will continue to work with.
Meanwhile, specialized doctors will visit the region to conduct follow-up reviews on those persons operated on during this outreach. Emergency cases requiring immediate intervention will have to be transported to Georgetown until the hospital has the adequate support staff to effectively roll out surgeries. From the Mabaruma Regional Hospital with videographer Anil Silal, I am Delicia Haynes for InfoHub.
After 23 years, the residents of Spiteland Mackenzie Linden finally received a one-year permit to utilize a plot of land near the waterfront.
The permit was handed over by Minister Don Hastings Williams during the village's 2019 Heritage Day activity on Sunday. The recreational area is managed by the Spikeland Logging and Agriculture Cooperative Society. According to the president of the Cooperative Society, the community has been utilizing the waterfront area for recreational purposes for over 2 decades.
I can remember several times I was placed into police custody fighting to have this playfield. This playfield was at time claimed to be owned by two persons who were then not residents of this community, and we fight for this playfield. On the other hand, previously, or I should say, the previous administration, we made several attempts on having legal ownership to this playfield, and it was torn down all the time.
The permit will be valid for 12 months, after which it will be renewed. In the interim, talks will be ongoing with NISIL to provide a 20-year lease to the community for the land. Minister Hastings Williams said that the permit delivers on a promise made to the residents when the then Minister of State, Joseph Harmon, visited the area.
We are a caring government, and wherever we go to do our outreaches, and you say to us, this is our problem, this is what you want us to do for you, and we can get back to the table, negotiate with each other, because we believe in making things possible. We believe in ensuring that the wishes of the people are granted, because that is the reason why you put us in government. You place us there to serve you.
Spikeland is located just past the old aluminum factory in Mackenzie. It has a population of over 100, mostly indigenous residents. Seneca Thorne, InfoHub.
Still to come, Region 7 Primary School commissioned and saw turn for 1823 Monument Site. Details of these after the break.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways, and lush, enriching rainforest. Would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Thanks for staying with us. Approximately 400 Region 7 students are now settling into their new classrooms following the recent commissioning of the Camarang and Parorima primary schools.
Over $60 million has been invested into 2 new schools for the Upper Mazaruni district. The 2 schools, which can house a collective 600 students, are a step towards creating an education nation. Minister of Education Honorable Dr. Nicolette Henry explained that the Ministry of Education aims to provide equal educational opportunities to all Guyanese and is constructing and rehabilitating schools both on the coastland and in the hinterland.
In keeping with our educational policy, which aims to ensure that every child has access to education, attends school, and achieves the level that allows him or her to graduate from school with the requisite knowledge, skills, and values, more schools will continue to be built.
Urging parents, teachers, and students to maintain the newly constructed structures at Camarang and Parima, Minister of State Honorable Don Hastings Williams noted that the building was comfortable and conducive to learning.
It has been a long time. Camarang PTA has been crying for a new school building. And so today, it has been realized.
Regional Chairman Kayuni Mazruni Gordon Bradford spoke to the commitment of several stakeholders to ensure that development is set in motion.
The purpose of this program should tell us or reinforce in us the interest that our government, both national and regional, have in our young people. Education has to be the engine of growth. Education builds a nation.
The commissioning of the schools comes during the observance of Education Month 2019, themed Education, Key to National Development. Natisha Isaacs for InfoHub.
A groundbreaking ceremony was on Sunday morning held to mark the establishment of a new 1823 Demerara Slave Revolt monument at the Independence Park.
As many of you may know, the period of the Demerara Revolt in 1823 resulted in the horrific deaths of more than 200 enslaved Africans and peoples of African descent.
Minister of Social Cohesion Dr. George Norton, delivering the feature address. He said that while there is an 1823 monument already erected along the Atlantic Avenue, President David Granger felt it necessary to support the call by historians for the construction of the monument at this particular site.
It was this location that bore witness to numerous gruesome public executions. At this very site, corpses were fallen, enslaved people were hung in chains. In many cases, bodies were decapitated after being hung, and heads were struck on poles as a means of instilling fear in those who survived and remained desirous of claiming their birthright, freedom.
Minister Norton said the monument is an integral part of Guyana's colonial history and was a price paid for us to experience freedom.
We, all Guyanese, are the beneficiaries of the men and women and children who resisted with arms and with other daily actions. We must therefore value their memory and use our time wisely and constructively. I believe that young Guyanese particularly those of African descent, must see these dreadful aspects of our country's history as a motivation to strive for greatness.
Kellon Rover for InfoHub.
Here is a reminder to check our Facebook and Instagram pages as we bring you more stories covering the observances of Indigenous Heritage Month and Education Month. That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy, and pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye for now.